Beloved, welcome back to the shop. I'm a little ashamed to say that I have not been, over the last few years, what I would call a man of my word, especially when it comes to immediate family, i.e. Mrs. W and the sweet loaf. Familiarity breeds contempt. We take advantage of the ones that are closest to us, and I am drawing a line in the sand. We talked about this in our morning Bible study. I am not going to be doing this anymore. I'm going to stop being Mr. Nice Guy and agreeing to do things just to get along. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not to be helpful. Of course we'll be helpful, but I'm not going to say things just to appease people because I'm uncomfortable with saying no to things I don't want to do or I don't have time to do. So, to make that right, I did a project yesterday for Mrs. W that she'd been asking me to do, and today, this has been on my back burner for a long time. The sweet loaf loves to play tetherball and has asked me for a proper tetherball setup. So that's what we're doing today. Let's go get some concrete ready. The good book says, do all things to the glory of God, or whatever your hand finds to do it with all your might. So we're going to start off properly with a Michelin tire. Is there anything better than a Michelin tire? The question is, white letters up or white letters down? I'm thinking white letters down. I'm going to cut a piece of this old underlayment, plastic. This is the plastic my manservant, Mr. Jiraiya, put down in the crawl space of the cabin, and we had a little bit left over. It's really nice stuff. On second thought, that's such nice plastic, I'm going to leave it whole. I think we can rinse it off and reuse it. Goodness, when's the last time you played tetherball? I hadn't touched one since probably grade school. We were at a harvest festival, Mrs. W and the Sweet Loaf and I, this fall, and they had a tetherball there. We had so much fun playing. Mrs. W smoked me, and so when she got home, she ordered one, and this was the best one she could find. So what we've got here is we got 3 pieces, and rather than put this right in the concrete, I'd like to have a sleeve on it, so we're going to use a sleeve. We'll put the sleeve in the concrete, and then this will fit tightly, so if and when I wanted to take that out, put it away for the winter time, I don't have to deal with that with a big chunk of concrete with a big pole sticking out of the end of it. So this is a little ragged here. Let's see if we can clean this up. This portaband right here is the very tool that started AVE hating on me. My friend, he owns Swag Outdoors. When I was coming up, getting started with my Jeep parts business, he was starting Swag Engineering. He's a really gifted engineer, and he used to come to my recycle bin where I would take Jeeps apart, and he would borrow parts because he would develop prototypes for Jeep Wranglers and such, and I had a whole bunch of wreck stuff, so he would use it. So he gave this to me when I moved out to the other homestead, and I did a video showing how nice it was and what a great design it was. Well, AVE did a video on me calling me a shill, that I was shilling for Milwaukee, and I never was. I always was clear and upfront about that, but I don't know where he got that. Maybe he just assumed, because there are so many shills out there, rightfully so, but it was never the case. I shared it because I wanted to help my friend out because it was a great product, but I'll share it with you. You've seen it before, but it's amazing. This is one of the best additions you can have to your shop. I never forgot that video. I'm such a big fan of his channel. It really hurt my feelings when he said that because it was just untrue and unjust, and he never apologized, but I'll be waiting. I think I even clapped back and threatened him. But I still love his stuff. Some of the best work on YouTube. All right, so what this is a Milwaukee portaband. It's a portable bandsaw, and Swag Off-Road makes these little tables, and it's really nice. You just bolt it on, but the best part, the secret sauce, is the sewing machine pedal. The sewing machine pedal, you just leave this down here plugged in. When you're ready to use it, hands-free, and you can cut anything, steel, aluminum, wood, it's always ready to cut. The little table has got a spot for a pusher to go through. So you can set angles. And it's not going to be your most precise thing, but my goodness, it is handy for little things like this. We need to trim up this sleeve. You see, gentlemen, I've got to share these little stories and do these little side quests because I can't get that sweet, sweet ad revenue unless my video is 8 minutes long, and there's just not that much content with a tetherball concrete tire job. That sleeve is a little bit on the short side. I wanted that to come up flush. I guess we could keep the concrete. You know what I think I'll do is I'll just raise the sleeve up a little bit. We'll sit it on something flat. Maybe a little chunk of 2x. I found the perfect thing. I've got a little chunk of fir, about 2 inches thick, that'll space that up just about right. These Japanese saws are incredible, aren't they? I've never replaced the blade on this, and I've had it for years. Every time I look at a tire, it gives me delight. It's one of the sweetest trolls that we have on all Europe. They never stop going on about their metric system, how much better it is, and yet, even their tires are in inches. It's the little things, isn't it, gentlemen? All right. If we leave that in there, now, excellent. Now our collar is well above the concrete line. We can come right up here to the top and then have that nice and clean. We are going to want to tape up the bottom of that, or when I shove it down in there, it's going to fill up with concrete and we're going to have a problem. Hit that thumbs up, gentlemen, if you haven't learned anything today and are not going to learn anything. You have to respect the ability to turn nothing into an 8-minute video. Sometimes I wonder, could the world go on another day if we didn't have duct tape? You know that block's gonna push out as soon as I throw mud in there, so we'll tape that down. We'll just pour it right here in place. That's why I put the plastic down, so it'll be easy cleanup. This is what experience looks like right here. Sometimes when you've done construction for so long, you can almost feel prophetic because you've been burned so many times and you've seen so many failures and participated in them that you can start to anticipate them. Now, we should be able to find that right in the center. I always feel like Bob Vila every time I put this shop apron on. Didn't he wear a shop apron? Bob Vila was the only good thing to ever come out of the East Coast, that's for sure. Bob Vila will also tell you, be careful when coming in contact with concrete. It is poisonous. My second cousin's dad was a concrete man, and I remember he got sick one time for being exposed to it. Back in the day, back in the 80s, you know, guys didn't protect themselves in the construction trades, and his testicles swelled up the size of croquet balls from the lime or something in it. It was gruesome, gruesome. Actually, there's a lot of dirt in that bucket. I'm not trying to get a bunch of dirt in the Sweet Loaf's tetherball deal. I'm going to clean that out a little bit. My feet got tough last year being out barefoot all summer long, but over the winter they've gotten kind of soft again. That looks better. When you're mixing concrete, have the wind at your back. One of the benefits of working barefoot, apart from the obvious, is it forces you to be very intentional. It forces you to slow down and not always be in a rush. You know, I finally figured it out. It took me 55 years. The work's always going to be there. You rush, you know, everything's an emergency all the time. I worked in the trades, construction, everything was time and money. Emergency, emergency. But now when I think back when I destroyed my body and overworked myself, do those things matter now? Did that drain field, did that house I framed, does it matter now? Did I pick up boards that I shouldn't have because I had to get it done? No. Need to slow down, rethink. Your body, your health is more important than any deadline or any job or any money. Having a skid steer is the closest thing you can get to having your own mech suit. So, since we don't have enough concrete, what we can do is I can put our, where's our tube? We can put our tube in, and once this cures, we could just simply flip it over. I'm guessing I'm about a bag and a half shy of filling that all the way up. That's 4 bags in there. I thought 4 bags would do it, but it did not. So, not a big deal. We can set this in here and pour more on top, or we could flip it upside down, knock out that wood and do it that way. So I don't see it's a big deal. This is a factory cut edge on the sleeve, so I trust it. That looks pretty good right there. I'll come back and check it here. It sets up a bit, but looking good, gentlemen. And that is that. That's about all I have for you today. But the lesson is, gentlemen, put your family and yourself first before the job. That corporation, they're not going to be there for you when you're sick. They're not going to be there when you need them. Your family will be there. So I know it's easy to put it off. You know they'll always be there. You kind of get used to them. You get accustomed to it, but make them a priority. I haven't always done that in the past, and I'm going to turn over a new leaf. Family comes first, and then the channel, and then obligations to other people. That's the way it's going to be. No more Mr. Nice Guy. May God bless you and your families. Please keep us in your prayers, and we'll see you all on the next video.